Earlier this year, we featured Dale Morton, a student recruiter at the University of the Virgin Islands. Today, we welcome him back to tell us about his visit to the Federation. Welcome back home.
Thank you so much.
And secondly, welcome to Studio 327. The last time we talked, it was virtually.
Yes, sir.
So it's great to have you in studio. So about your trip back home, what was the purpose of it?
Okay, the School of Business decided to come and do a follow-up on an initial visit by Dr. Esdale and Professor Francisco Deposua. Both of them are St. Kitts nationals, and they work at the university for a long time. Well, Professor Deposua, a long time, and he's an alum. And they came and they made an initial visit and spoke with certain businesses and so forth. And what they were doing was trying to find out how we can better meet the needs of certain institutions and so forth here. And also look into the possibilities of these local businesses here having internships offered to our students who are presently at UVI, who have difficulty getting to do their internships there because when you're on a student visa, you don't have permission to work. So the number of opportunities on the campus, you can work on campus or at the university. But with the number of students and so forth, most of the time we have more of a demand. And then also a lot of the students return for the summer. And so they're here for 2 or 3 months and they work, but they still lack their 2 credit hours of internship required for the degree. So we were able to have discussions with, and when I say we, because we brought a team of 18. We had discussions with National Bank, First Federal Credit Union, Digicel, Flow, the Cable, National Bank Group, TDC Group. I hope I've not left out any of the businesses.
Calling a lot of heavy hitters.
Yes, and so forth. So, we explained what is involved. We left the packages with them and so forth. And then we also did recruitment exercises as well. So we met with the students at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College and at the Sixth Form College in Nevis. And we are hoping to get results of that. But those are the businesses, okay? And the higher education institutions. But on both islands, we met with the Ministry of Education here in St. Kitts. And yesterday we met with the Ministry of Education and the Nevis Island Administration. And also, this wasn't planned, but it was an impromptu after they heard about the new School of Agriculture and so forth at UVI. There was a meeting also with the Ministry of Agriculture and the PS. So the minister and the PS, we had a meeting. So it has been a very, very successful trip. And I don't know if you all know, but it's a very challenging time of late to get to come from the Virgin Islands to St. Kitts.
Yes, I can understand.
And there's 1 flight a week on the commercial airlines, and you have to go from St. Thomas down to Barbados, then to Dominica here. That's if you come on the regional airline.
Yes.
And then if you come on the US airline, it's only Fridays,
US.
St. Thomas, Puerto Rico here, and then you have to wait till the other Friday. So the university really invested a lot in this trip because what happened is that we had to charter 2 different planes. And so one charter left this morning, another one is going to leave at 9:30, and I am on the 1 o'clock charter this afternoon.
Well, we're really grateful that you're here speaking.
Thanks, and that's why my response to the request was so delayed, because at first I said, should I do it? I said, I think that's going to be hectic, but I'm happy and I wanted to get the word out.
Yes.
Okay, and so we are looking for the new generation of students to come to the institution. And what I would plead to the young ones, please take the opportunity. You never know what is going to happen as a result.
Yes.
At the university, in this group of 18, we have, like I said, Dr. Esdale and Professor Depossois. Both of them are from St. Kitts. We had Dr. Paul Fleming, who is originally from Nevis. And then we had other professors, the chair of the dean of the School of Business. Her parents are from St. Kitts, but she was born in St. Thomas.
Okay.
We have the chair of the Communications and Performing Arts, Dion Parson. His parents were born in St. Kitts, his mother. And so he came here many times during the summer and spent the whole summer. As a matter of fact, his nephew is the ADC to the Prime Minister, and so forth. So we had a good representation. But get back to the point, make sure you take the opportunity. And I would like to expose some basic information for our nationals. Once you or your parents are planning to send your child to any U.S. institution, make sure you start planning ahead, especially with the finances, because you have to indicate to the embassy, well, even before you reach the embassy part, to the school, in order to get the I-20 form which you take to the embassy, you have to indicate to them that you have 36,000 US dollars set aside, ready to use. That is the minimum. No, that's not tuition. That is what you have to present to the embassy for them, yes, for them to grant you, yes. Okay? And so many times people don't reach that hurdles. So, you know, that's why I say start talking to your parents, your relatives, and so forth. So whoever is going to be sponsoring you to be able to show that you have 36,000 US dollars in the bank.
So you recently had a reception for the alumni of the University of the West Indies here in St. Kitts. Can you tell us?
University of the Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands here in St. Kitts.
Yes, we don't want to get our signals crossed. We kind of had that discussion a little while ago.
Can you tell us a bit about that?
Okay, we had a reception last evening, and we had a fairly good turnout. For me personally, I was a little disappointed that we did not have as many of the longer time graduates. Because like it's 39 years ago I graduated. So I only saw 2 from that era. And one, the former Deputy Prime Minister, UVI Legal, who has since sent and had there last night. Is either 2 or 3 daughters were there, with the last one just graduating this year with her applied maths degree. And she did the 3-year, 2-year program in engineering. So she's a chemical engineer. So what that program is that you attend the University of the Virgin Islands and you gather and collect 3 years of credits towards the applied mathematics degree. After that, you transfer to either University of South Florida, Cornell University, I am forgetting the third one, but that's an arrangement where we have that is seamless. And so when they graduate with their engineering degree at the end of those 5 years total, they get a degree in engineering from that school. So she got in May her degree in chemical engineering from University of South Florida. And at the same time, she got a degree from the University of the Virgin Islands in applied maths. And we have many of those kind of programs, and we also have the early admissions program with the Boston University for medical school. Unfortunately, it is only for American citizens. You asked me off here a question about financial aid. Our students from St. Kitts Nevis who come on a student visa do not qualify for the US government's financial aid. However, 10 years ago, the university renewed the memorandum of understanding between the college here at the CFBC and the one in Sixth Form in Nevis, where we wanted them to commit to send a certain number of students a year. And in return for that,
Okay.
we changed the fee structure for the tuition only.
Okay.
When students come from the mainland or any foreign place, their tuition is exactly 3 times what the residents of the Virgin Islands pay. So if they come from New York or whatever, they pay 3 times the amount. So beforehand, so you're coming from St. Kitts, you're paying 3 times the tuition, and then you have to pay 2.7 to convert your money. So it's almost like 9 times. So the government and the local government here in St. Kitts Nevis and the university negotiated a reduction in the rate for the tuition. So students who now come from St. Kitts, so in a sense that is a financial aid.
Yes.
Those students who now come from St. Kitts pay 1 and 1.75 times the amount of the local resident instead of the 3. So that is a significant saving for the tuition. The room and board is the same thing for every student, foreign or local. Once you're going to live on campus and you're going to be eating the meals, it's the same price.
Okay.
However, like I say, the emphasis is making sure that you have that money, because even if you are coming on a full scholarship, you, the individual, your parents or your organization still has to show that $36,000 available in order just to get the visa. And I think that's why our students do so well when they come, because they know that a lot of money has been invested in them, and we have had a real good track of students. And that's why I was so pleased really to see so many of them last night and to learn about the various positions they hold in this community. And in many of the instances when we went to the businesses and we met with officials, in many, many instances you had an alum there present. Yesterday when we were meeting with the Sixth Form College students, the National Bank in Nevis, the manager of the National Bank in Nevis, she came to see her old professors and everything, and she's a graduate of UVI. When we went to the first credit union, one of the persons in there was, I think she's the human resource director or manager, whatever the term is, UVI alum. Penny Sinclair Hodge for TDC Automotive, I think he's the second in command there. He is actually the alumni chapter president here in St. Kitts. And J.D. Keynes, who I don't remember what her position is, but I think she's also a political aspirant in Nevis. She's a UVI alum.
You're beaming with pride just talking about.
Yes, it gives me great pleasure to talk about the impact. I am honored to be on the trip as well, because it just shows the level of respect that the administration has in me too. Because in most instances, nearly all of the persons are persons with the doctorate and so forth, but my dean chose me to come. And that's because he knew I would do a good job.
Well, you know what? This is the second time that we've been talking to you about UVI, and I would say the first interview went well. This one again, glad you're here in the flesh. Same thing, Dale.
Thank
Doing
you.
a very good job. It's an honor to finally meet you. And thank you for coming and sharing with us all about the recruitment drive at UVI and what UVI is doing as well to the benefit.
And I would like to share my email.
Please do. That
Okay.
camera is yours.
Okay, my email address is dmorton@uvi.edu. Any student who has an interest attending the University of the Virgin Islands, please to email me. I am supposed to specifically recruit for the School of Agriculture, but I have been doing recruiting at the university in an unofficial manner for well over 25 years. And please do reach out to me. I will help you. I help many, many students once they arrive and I know they're from the Federation. I help to walk them through and put them in the right places because I want to see more and more of our students continue to go places. Also, we had last night at the reception, the newest Deputy Prime Minister, Sean Richards there as well. That's another UVI alum. We had Ambassador Emery beforehand, before he passed, one of our, again, famous alums as well. So UVI has had quite an impact in this federation. And those members of the team, out of the 18 who never knew about the impact that UVI has had in this region, were very, very, very surprised and pleased to realize how well UVI is regarded.